Hi, my name is Ethel.
My name is Esther, sometimes Esi. When things need to get done, they need to get done.
Like food you eat at your sister's home is so sweet.
I've thought about me giving birth to like a mini you. I'm excited to have this conversation with my sister. I think we talk quite a bit as it is. But yeah, just getting into some of the deeper things. I'm looking forward.
I'm excited to have this conversation. It's nice to be back on camera together, I would say. And it's always nice to talk to my sister. So I'm excited to see what I can learn about her today. Yeah, and our relationship actually. It's okay. First question is, describe a memory about us that you will never forget.
I feel like there's so many, obviously, because we have shared a childhood. Yeah, but I think the ones that I'll never forget, honestly, are to do with music and like the songs that we grew up listening to. I feel like we've just been having conversations about this actually, but we grew up listening to like VeggieTales, and I remember last week when we were home for Easter, and Mommy reminded us about us singing "We Are the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything." So just, I think for me, those memories are very cool. Like us running around the living room, singing along to VeggieTales on the TV, dancing to Hillsong Nanti. Our household was only Christian songs. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think for me, those ones are very cool. I think singing along to music on the TV, learning dance moves and dancing together. What? Yeah, that's definitely cool.
When you said music, I thought you were going to say the thing about like song lyrics and newspapers.
That's another one. Yeah, that's definitely
And like making up, because we didn't have TV, and like not being able to just actually know the melodies of songs because there was no trace until we were like adults basically, and having to say, okay, we're going to develop our own melody. Do you remember every time
I try to fight for? Oh my God, you guys, I feel so small. That's weird, man, because that's like a real Britney Spears song. But yeah, we're creative kids. I like that for us. Yeah, but that's definitely a cool memory.
Sure.
Okay, let me go. I can't remember which ones are deep and which ones are thingy. Okay. What is something about me you hope will never change?
Oh, that's such a good question. Something about you. I hope you never change your heart for people, because I think you have like such a soft heart for people, and like you care about, like you're always considerate. And even in situations where like recently we had a conversation where I was just like, I'm always the one in this relationship who is like, excuse me, off, cut off, done. But then you're always like, no, see it from this perspective, or like rationalizing things for us in this relationship. And I feel like it balances this relationship, but it also like balances your energy in the world. Like the world needs more people who are, willing to see the sunshine in people, see like also like the pain that might be causing people to act in particular ways. And I really admire that about you, and I hope you never change that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really sweet. I appreciate that.
Yeah, true. Next question is, how would you describe our connection? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
People pressure. How would I describe our connection?
Yeah.
I feel like because I really like words, I want to like think about it deeply. But no, I think beyond being sisters, I really feel like we are genuinely friends. I think we're very like, we have an honest, open relationship about like just different things that we're going through, but even different things in terms of dynamics within the family, and like the way we're navigating things, and going through things. I would say we're friends, I think, primarily because of that open aspect. I feel like I can come and talk to you about things, and you can, you also talk to me about different things. And I don't think that's something it's not something I take for granted. Because a lot of sisters might be like that, but it's not something that I think is automatic, because I know people that are not as close to their sisters and to their siblings. So for me, I would say I would describe our relationship as friendship. Yeah. What would you describe it as?
I was going to say, do you think we'd be friends if we weren't sisters, if we were like cousins? Because also sometimes we've gotten that where it's like we have cousins who we could be sisters with, or like because of our appearance, people have said that we would be sisters with different pairs. So it's like, imagine if we were cousins instead of sisters. I'm like, what kind of connection would we have? I think we have very similar like temperaments. I think we're both like very, I don't say sensitive because sometimes that's interpreted as like a negative, but I think, I think we understand it. I think you get me in ways that I would want a friend to get me. And I think that's why we're able to like get on quite well and like, spend time with each other long periods of time without like having, too much like too many squabbles or things like that. So I think our connection is very organic and natural. It makes sense that we came from the same mom and dad. Because I'm like, very, it's like, but it always surprises me that only came like later in life.
Yes.
Like we didn't enjoy childhood together. We didn't have.
I mean, the thing is we did, right? Because the memories that we're talking about, but we were also like, we really used to fight. Like we used to fight a lot.
You were such a bully.
I really wasn't. I was just like, I was this person and I was not about taking my energy as the oldest. Which, okay, I think I still do that, but not as much. I don't think I'm like that aggressive now. But no, I think what I wanted to add going to what it is that you were saying is with that question about what you hope doesn't change about me. So what I hope doesn't change about you ties into why I think I would be your friend, even if we're not sisters. I think you're very like tenacious. I think you go, and I mean, I would probably describe myself the same way in some instances, but I think I really admire how you go after what you want, okay? And without, it's like, guys, this is something that I'm actually about and I'm going to go after it. And I think sometimes I'm very quick to, guys, like this just feels like it's exhausting. I'm just not going to bother. I think like even when we're running our business or in the ways, like you approach different things just in life, or even like small things, like you want a MacBook, let me tell you something, you're going to get it. Like where it's coming from, it doesn't matter. You're going to know what I mean? Yeah. I think for me sometimes I'll be like, but it's okay, I'll just get this instead. Or like, so I think I really like that energy about you. It's something that I hope never changes, and it's something that I hope I can learn more about. I hope it's something that can feed into my own life a bit more. And I think it's why we'll be friends, man. Yeah, like I'm attracted to that.
I'm flattered.
That's such a big word.
Thank you. Whose turn is it?
I think it's my turn.
You sure? I'm kidding. Yeah,
but it's okay.
Yeah, because you only have one.
I don't even know which one is hard and which one is easy, but it's okay.
Okay.
What do you know now that you wish you had learned earlier in life? That's an interesting question.
It's actually, it reminds me of this quote that a friend gave me recently, like a wallpaper type of thing that I have up at home. And it says, be you, the world will adjust. And I wish I had known, like, I wish like primary school Ethel had known that like the way you are is okay. Like, don't try and adapt. Like, don't try and say, okay, your environment is like this. Like, you need to like know more about that, or you need to like be more interested in those kind of things. Because like sometimes I feel like growing up, I was just like, bro, what is going on? Or like, what are people? Why are you guys? I will act.
Why are you excited?
Yeah.
Why this particular thing?
Or why is everyone obsessed with this thing? Because also I think I should have known from a young age that I was going to be a creative, or I would like a creative thing.
Yeah.
Because it was like the things that intrigued me were cameras and like, like perspective and like editing photos and color grading and things like that. And even I think the family we grew up in was very, like we grew up in I don't want to say a sheltered family, but like a very strict in terms of like the media you consume, the people you see, how late you're out, like very tight household. So I think I wish I had accepted that as my fate, like as my world. I think for a while I tried to like be one with the world, of like like
conform as opposed to stand up.
So I wish I had known, because I think I'm coming into myself now. It's still a journey, but I think I like the version of me that like just is and lets the world like come and be like, okay, do you want to interact with me? Yes, no, maybe, sharp. You come. If you don't want, like, it's fine. And I think also the more I am myself, or if I had been myself earlier, I feel like I would have found my community a lot earlier, or people who are like kindred spirits and things like that.
Absolutely.
I would have been drawn to them like
instantly.
Maybe they would have been my friend for way longer than like now, and maybe I'd have found everything.
Yeah.
I think about that quite a bit sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. What was the question? Remind me. I want to go back to you.
Okay. Let me see. What do you know now that you wish you had learned earlier in life? So what do I know now that I wish I'd learned earlier in life? I think for me it's Philippians talks about I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't think that's a verse that I truly believed in until literally like 2 or 3 years ago. Just in terms of completely depending on him, on the Lord for every single part of my life. I feel like there's so much that I carried on my own shoulders for a very long time. I think performance at work and figuring out things with friendships and trying to be there for people and trying to be a good daughter, a good sister, a good friend, and it was like I was carrying all of these things on my own shoulders. I think nowadays I lean literally, guys, in my life I don't think there are things I'm doing. Literally I am doing everything through the power of the Holy Spirit. Like I will take to him the hard work thing where they've sent me the document back like 6 times and I'm like, by the way, like, you're the one that's going to handle this thing. Or like when business is taking us for rounds and we've made this giant mistake with the client. And I'm like, Holy Spirit, it is you that has to be in this thing now. I'm not going to be the one that's shouldering. So I think I feel like if I had learned that a lot earlier in life, there's a lot of like stresses and things that I would have avoided, but also like just shots to my confidence. And because you're carrying everything on your shoulders, when you fail, it's very internalized, right? But now I can take it in stride and be like, it's okay, I'm not doing this thing alone, we're doing it together. So it's like, okay, God, you're not going to let me get ashamed. Like if this thing didn't work, it's because you don't want. We shall learn what we're learning and we move. I'm not shouldering the guilt and shame or whatever. Even in terms of friendships and all of these things, I don't want to get into it. Might take the whole episode if I ever talk about it, but that would be something. Yeah,
it's so interesting. Like how I think it's so interesting to me how our bodies, like I know there's a book about how the body keeps the score and it's about like trauma and stuff, but I think what you're saying is, so when you believe that God is carrying everything for you, I feel like it also reduces anxiety, and I feel like stress. Like if you actually like meditate on the God's promises for you, I feel like you're less stressed of as a person, and I imagine like living your life with less stress.
Yes,
like,
right.
It's
ultimately that's exactly what we're supposed to be
and
doing.
leaning on His promises and just being there. So it's nice to know that like we always have that, and it's interesting how like that was our foundation. I don't think at some point we forgot, but I think it's nice to always remember that like at the end of the day, coming back to yourself is literally coming back to the things you were doing and were taught as a child, and like what were you taught what was right or good for you, and what promises were you taught as a child. So how are you coming back to who you are just supposed to be? You're just supposed to be a child of God who rests knowing that everything is sorted. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's me. Yeah, I picked the last time, so it's you.
Alrighty.
I have to keep it changing. Yeah.
Hey. God, this is so okay.
Definitely going to make answer it. I don't even know that question. Okay, huh?
I think it's you supposed to answer. Don't you me? I'm asking, and then
I'm gonna. But it's okay.
Actually, yeah, you should make me answer. Please make me answer because it's about you. So the question is, what do you think life is teaching me right now? Actually, do you know what's happening in my life? Tell me.
What do I think life is?
Actually, yeah, but
What do I think life is teaching you right now?
Yeah, actually, because we've had,
had some conversations.
Yeah, just like the car thing, the job, like adulting. I think like I'm adulting pro max, bro.
Yeah. So I think one of the things, probably just like as preamble to the answer.
Yeah.
We've been talking recently, and I think I alluded to it a little bit in a conversation we might have had earlier. But no, I think when I think about where, even over the Easter weekend, I was just thinking about you, 27, you're 3 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And I think when I was your age, I look at what your life is now and the number of things that you're doing, and you're, work, and then we have the color kiosk coming, these expressions, and then there's all these things. And I'm just like, yeah, like when I was 27, I just remember having that much energy, and like, not energy per se, but like there was so much. I wanted to do everything. We're doing consulting. Then I'm starting a business of our school. Then now I have a job. Then I have, like, there was just so much going on at the same time. And I think definitely it's the time, to first of all explore and see what it is. And then in a couple of years, you're able to say, okay, guys, I'm not giving this thing my time anymore. I'm going to focus on this and this. Because I know that when I was also getting like, now like 30s, I was like, okay, guys, I just need a job, and like, don't tell me more things about other like, I don't want too much Mel. So I think just in terms of, I feel like you're at a place where life is showing you what it is it's teaching you what is important, right? So what is it that I'm going to carry into my legacy? Because it can't be everything, right? You're not going to carry 7 different things into 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
You're going to reach a point and sort of have to streamline. And so I feel like you're at the place in life where it's a buffet and we are choosing what food we are about for real. And then you get to a place and navigate, and you're like, okay, this is a thing that I'm carrying, and this I'm leading behind a bit more. I think also around, I don't know whether it's teaching you, because you're much better at managing money than I am. I feel like that's something I'm learning. So I don't know whether it's teaching you, but I think, like, again, around priorities and where it is that you're putting I feel like you are learning to manage your money a bit better, because you've just moved out. You're in the process of, should I get a car? Should I not? Where am I investing? Where am I, like, I want my money to grow. At some point in my life, I want to sit and not have to work for money. So what do I do? So I feel like you're also at a place where you're navigating that beginning part of proper adulthood of, guys, I have bills, I have to eat, I want to enjoy and travel and live my best life, what. But like, you're just sort of, figuring it out as so I think I would say those are the two things that life is teaching.
I feel like the first one is like, it's kind of sad for me that, like, to realize, because I don't think I think I take a while to, like, adapt to change. It takes me I like my routine, I like schedules, and I like what everything I'm doing right now fulfills in me, like, it fulfills something different in me, whether it's like musically or like connection wise socially, or it's like creatively, color kiosk is like that side of things, or it's like, I guess my job is, fulfills me financially. Like, so that's the main one. I mean, if something has to go, it has to be the ones that are not,
that are just feeling other, which is also sad.
Which is sad, but, like, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to make those hard decisions. But you see how, like, I feel like I've organized my life where every pocket feels something different. So in my head, I'm like, it would be so sad to have to let any of those things go, but I know, like, God is a God who foresees our needs, and, like, whatever he's bringing for me in the future is going to fulfill, like, those different pockets. So like, even by 30 or whatever, I hope that I have, like, streamlined things and I'm doing less things, but I hope that the different things that these things fulfill in my life are still there. Because I can't imagine, like, not being able to do some of the things. And, like, also, I think releasing control is something actually, that life is teaching me right now, that, like, even with having a business, like, it's so difficult to imagine anyone, like, handing my business over to anyone and just being like, you know what? I think you're skilled and capable enough, and I trust that you're going to make the right decisions that are for the good of my business. I find that, like, crazy. Like, just to even say it, I'm like, So people say this. Like, I think for me, it's because I don't know what it is, and I'm still figuring out what it is, but I think it's just, like, I think it would take a lot, and it would take, like, God telling me that is the person. Like, give your businesses, because I feel like it's so easy to mess up, and because even I mess up, so it's also having grace for the people I'm going to entrust to say, if you mess up, I'm not going to kill you, I'm not going to fight you. Like, it's fine, it happens, it's normal. So then the second thing you said was about money.
Yes, and just balances.
Money is interesting, like, I'm glad that I wish we had like I wish we had talked about money more as like as children. And I wish, like, we had been sat down, whether it's by our parents, by our uncles, by our aunties, by people who are older around us, and taught us, like, and not taught us, but, like, disciplined us in the way we've been disciplined in the Bible, to be disciplined with money in that way. Because I feel like, as much as the Bible says it's the root of all evil, it is the root of all evil, but I think that the mismanagement of money can cause so much havoc. And for me, even just like having a financial tool as some of the things that we do as part of the business is so important, because I'm like, I've seen the effects of a lack of management of money. And I think just being so hyper aware that like having a resource doesn't mean that having it is not enough. Like just having money doesn't mean anything. Like a lot of people, it's easy to make money. Like, well, it's not easy to make money. That's a privileged statement. But money is accessible. Money is there. But I think the whole idea of like how you growing your money is something that like, I think as soon as was it like coming back from uni? I think it was after uni where I was like, like this thing is serious. And actually it was moving out. I'm lying. Having to pay bills reminds you
the thing that will make you grow up in terms of money real quick. Yeah.
And it reminds you that like, yeah, like no one is coming to save you, and like you're responsible for yourself, and like and at the end of the day, you're not making money with like your whole friend group or your like the people who you're chilling with. Like at the end of the day, you have to step away and say, okay, me as me, what am I able to do? And just be very disciplined and very honest with yourself. And I think it has helped me grow a lot. And I think I agree when you say
it's what life is teaching you, right?
It's definitely a lesson. And I'm praying that like we get better at it.
Yeah.
And we grow, and we also teach people how to get better at it.
Yeah. Let's grow our money.
Yeah.
Grow our business. Okay. What do you wish we could experience together?
Oh, I really wish, or I can't wait for us to experience, God willing, motherhood together. I think
that's so sweet, because what I was thinking of is like so shallow. But yeah, that's really sweet.
Are you going to like parting in Ibiza?
No, I really wasn't, but okay.
But yeah, I think why I say motherhood is because we grew up very close to our cousins who are our mom's sister, like mommy's sister's children. I think I see that bond. I see it as a very special bond, and I see like family ties as very, very special. And I think I would want my kids to like. I like the idea of my kids having a second mom.
Yeah,
and being like, oh my goodness, absolutely. Like when they're irritating you, like they like have your nieces and nephews.
Yeah,
enjoy them, and vice versa. I can't wait for us to like, because I think going on adventures with you is fun. Like going shopping for like planning, like when we're going for a wedding and we're saying, okay, what are we wearing? Like that stuff is really fun. So I can't imagine like going like baby shopping together and just like picking out
like
outfits,
cute things.
And then
that's true.
We're going to do this, then we're going on this holiday, and we're going to do this. I cannot wait. I am.
I actually imagine. I've thought about me giving birth to like a mini you. Like not even a mini me. I don't know why. And I don't even know whether like it's crossed my mind so many times. Like I think if I get, because I want to be a boy mom, truth be told. But I feel like if I give birth to a girl, I might end up giving birth to a girl that's just like you. Yeah.
In what? Well, like why do you say?
I don't know. Like very. I think girlier than I am, because I wasn't really a girl. I was all over the place when I was a kid. I was super active, and so I feel like I'm going to give birth to a girl that is feminine from the womb. I don't even know why, but it's an inkling. So I absolutely agree. I think that will be really nice. I was going to say going for, like all these podcasts that we listen to and all these. So like if we go for like a To My Sister's Life Experience, like Jackie O'Perry or TMI, that's small. You know what I mean? Yeah, because Nairobi is right here. But yeah, like some of these people that we talk about and like discuss and break down.
Yeah.
And they're like, like we could go and get to experience them, like live. Yeah.
Who would you want to see? Who would you want us to see like live together?
Okay, I mean, To My Sisters is that's the first one that has come to my mind. I think, I don't think you listen to them probably as much as I do, but I think Jackie O'Perry and Kristen Perry as well.
And what's her name? The one you're obsessed with?
Megan Ashley. Yes. Like an Acts, but if we go for Acts 242, like that conference that they did, it would be so beautiful. I feel like it would be so nice.
I think also those guys, the Henrys.
Oh yeah,
I know. Like
it's so like gospel. Yeah, probably. But yes,
so much fun. I would love to experience them with you. That would be so.
That would be so nice. So
cool.
Those would be a whole experience.
Let's add that to the bucket.
To the bucket list.
My turn now.
Yes, it is your turn. I think from that this pile has fewer cards.
Yeah. they're always asking you to answer questions about me, and I'm like, why? Hey, why do they want me to talk about you?
Also switch up after.
Okay. What do you think I enjoy most about you?
Fam, I don't know. Ew, that's like I have to say like nice things about myself. Anyway,
You can just say your clothes.
Which is really, yes, you enjoy my stuff. Yeah, so I think obviously the typical sister things, clothes, jewelry, where you come to for, you're looking for this big shirt to what do what with, Simanya what, yeah, those things. I mean, like more seriously, what is it that I think you enjoy about
like your energy,
me? I think, yeah, I think
vibe.
my energy. I think I would say I think you're also very, well, maybe not completely because you have friends who are like your age as well. But like, I think it's the way that you and Michelle are also like sort of close. I think
and she reminds
you
me
enjoy
so much of you.
Yeah.
Much.
And I think it's, that's just that like big sister energy. I feel like sometimes you will pick up the phone and like life is maybe just lifing a little bit. I don't know, maybe not so much very recently, but like there's times where maybe you're going through things with like your friends, and I think you just need someone that you want to bounce things off of. And like you said, someone that sort of also understands in terms of just personality traits and temperament. We're just able to like you can say things and that, yes, like I'm going to get it because I get it. Yeah, like I'm very similar to you, I think, in a lot of those ways. So I would say, yeah, like that. I mean, yeah, I'm your big sister, but yeah, I guess that's what you enjoy about me, really. And our relationship, like me being your big sister, it was just a place that you can, sort of come to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I saw this thing on Instagram the other day that said, like, food you eat at your sister's home is so sweet. Like, just going to your sister's home and just opening the fridge and just picking groceries and just being like, this is not on me. Like, and even just saying, okay, so what are we having for dinner? Like, I know what's on the menu.
Like, yeah, like just organized.
Just switching off your brain. I think, I really enjoy just having that moment where I'm like, okay, we're going to visit our parents, we'll come back to town. And then it's like, okay, I know that like for like at least 48 hours, my mind is just relax and just breathe. And I really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you. I'm sorry that you don't have someone to do that. But I really hope that you have community.
Yeah, absolutely.
But sometimes I think about like not having a big sister or not having like I know a sister, I don't know I'm your sister, but I know that the way I come to you, sometimes I'm like, I wish you had that in your, like I wish you had, and I'm sure you have, I know you have like mentor.
Yes, but I'm
that
I think older and
and also being like one of the first grandchildren, like life is really difficult. But anyway,
that's the way new buds. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. I hope I'm trying to exchange. I can't even remember what.
Okay, now I've seen where you picked from.
This is a nice question, but I feel like I know the answer. I know what the answer is for both of us. How important is acceptance from the family when it comes to dating?
You know the answer for both of us. That's
okay, please. I'm sorry.
That's saying a lot.
Sorry.
So we're supposed to discuss, like
actually, this is a very good question.
Yeah.
Speaking about okay, you first answer. But you don't have to discuss. You tell me first. How important is it for you?
So then you answer for yours.
Then I'll answer for myself. Yeah.
I think as a second born, as a middle child, I think I have to start by saying like, not that no one can tell me anything, but like, kinda. You know, like, I was born alone.
Me alone. Yeah.
I was born alone.
I'm going to get married.
I'm going to be in my marriage alone. I'm not alone, but like, I know I exist in community, but all of these things, like, I was born alone. I'm going there alone. So like, at the end of the day, I think for me, acceptance from God is the most important. Like over family or dating. I think now I'm at the stage where it's like dating and marriage feel like, okay, it's one thing, one and the same. Like
of
you're
course,
dating.
to marry, yeah.
But so I think in dating, for me, as long as God has accepted that person and I feel at peace with that decision according to God, then the rest of the people, whenever you come around, you come around. Like if you don't want to come around, that's it. That's you. I think I've made peace with the idea of And that goes back to like one of the first questions we answered about like one of the things I wish I had learned earlier. It even comes down to like my family or like people who I relate with in like on a daily. I'm like, I think being so sure of myself that even the people who I love the most, the things that they might not be able to see about me, if God can see that and God is the one leading me and guiding me, I feel very at peace.
Okay.
But on the flip side, like to be very serious about it, I do take into consideration, like I do love my parents and I love my siblings dearly. I love you guys. So I do think that there is a level of wisdom that they have, and God has given them wisdom, and that's why we're on earth with them. So I definitely, as I get older, I like having those kind of conversations with like mommy and daddy and just being like, okay, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? But I also love how we have such interesting and different parents. Like you can go to them with like the same thing.
They have completely different like perspectives,
on life and generally. So it's nice that like I like that
that's
we
very true.
come from like a colored background as if. So
Okay.
it's like if I went to them and I said, yeah, this is a person.
Yeah.
One of them might be like, yeah, the other one might be like, nah.
I
So
get it. Okay.
I think also that's why for me they are not the be all and end all. Like it's ultimately God.
Okay.
And
I
think they would give some interesting advice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I agree. I think okay. So in terms of it being good, I feel like I have a few follow-up questions. So one would be is there a dependence? Like, is your opinion completely, guys, if me and my God have agreed that this person is the one, I'm not going to listen to what anyone else says, even if, like, what are they saying? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it something that holds, like, what are they actually talking about? Is it something that holds water? Is it something that is about, because I think as a person, you have blind spots, especially when we're in love, man. Like when you like a guy, okay, may have liked like some rubbish guys in the past. Like you'll have, like, you're not seeing things that your friends are probably seeing, or you like people that know you, that are close to you. Is there a space for that in your deliberation, or is it very firm? Like I know what I'm doing and I trust myself and I trust my God. Also, bearing in mind that God uses people, right, a lot to speak to us. Just like where do those sort of
That's an interesting question. I think definitely there is room for like, I think godly, what do they call it when people in your life speak to you with
counsel,
godly counsel. Definitely. And I think also so I started off by the joke of being a middleborn or whatever. I think that's also something that I'm having to learn and like having to accept that's like godly counsel is godly counsel, and you have to humble yourself enough to like receive counsel and say, okay, I might my understanding is not enough for this situation. And God is trying to use this person in my life. And I think there are people in my life, there are very few, I can tell you, who like can speak to me and I say, yeah.
Okay.
It's final. They've said this, it's final. And it's not everyone. That's why I'm saying like a lot of people might speak, but I think for me, a lot of times it's just noise. I'm like, okay, you're speaking, speak and finish. But like, it's only very few people who I think I respect and admire in very specific ways.
Yeah.
And like, I can see that I feel like God has placed them in my life as godly counsel. So they are specific people, but I would say it's not a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for you?
Very important. It's very, very important. I guess it comes from a lot of places. It might be because, I'm a firstborn, obviously, and maybe these things matter a little bit more to me. But no, I think I've told you also before, I think two things are very important for me. What my family thinks of you, but also the way you relate to my family, right? So the way, like the person that I'm with, because I hold that position of firstborn, I think the way they relate with you and Ethan is going to be of utmost importance. Like I would want my man to, be like a sort of like mentor for Ethan and like be his life, and do you know what I mean? And I feel like those are, or even just the way he relates to you and is just concerned and being invested, in the things that are sort of going on in your life and making you, someone that he like cares about and things. I think for me, that is really important. And of course, the way he treats mommy and daddy, the way his family sort of also treats mommy and daddy, those are extremely important. But I think what my friends think of. And it's interesting because, like, yeah, okay, so it's like, but no, like the last person, like, might have been interested. For me, that was a red flag because he didn't feel like it was necessary to involve his friend. Like, he didn't think it was necessary for me to meet his friends and, his people and I get opinions about, because I was like, like, I want to interact with your people. And then they tell you, like, does it make sense? Does it work? Like, is it working?
What's the level?
Because that's the exact same thing that I would want to do. I would want to meet my friends. I'd want to meet my siblings. And I would be very, very interested to hear what they have to say because they know me. They know me to a certain extent. They might even know me better than I know myself because they're the ones that are relating to me. I relate to myself, but only internally, right? Yeah. So I think it's extremely important what the people around me think. I think it's something that I will hold and present before the Lord. I think ultimately I make the decision with the Lord, but they're going to be contributors, right? Like those are going to be significant contributors to my decision. Yeah.
I like that. And I think it's very important when you said like also a relational aspect. I think the question was, I just want to, how is that important?
Yes.
From the family. And I think for me, relation is I take those things differently. Like relation, like how you relate to someone, because I do value like community. I think that also a big factor is like, okay, can you gel with in my world?
People, yes. Like, does it work? Yes.
Can you gel? Like how, and I think I always compare like with everyone who I think I've like considered dating or dated is like, I always compare them to like Daddy or like Ethan. And I'm like, okay, it's so interesting when you like notice patterns and notice like similarities between like, especially the men in your family and the person that you seek out and the person, you seek out. And I think it's interesting to see how relation might be different from acceptance because like, I think we're built for community as people and we're built to like share and like, grow together in community. But sometimes like acceptance is based on a varied number of factors. So I can relate with you, but I might not necessarily accept you or want you to like, think that this person is good for you.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to me like to see the similarities and differences and just be like, okay, actually, this is important to me. That is not important to me. This is important to this person. Are we?
And then maybe not so much. Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Relationship dynamics get complicated. Yeah. You can get that.
Oh, this is a nice one. Which of our family traditions is your favorite?
That's interesting. I don't know. Would you describe us as a family that has traditions per se? I don't know. Like
singing
every year is
singing.
Is that a tradition? Would you describe us as a tradition? No, but yeah, I think is my favorite, right? Like that's the question. What is my favorite family tradition? Yeah, I think I would really, if we can define singing as a tradition.
In the morning, then we sing at lunch, and then we sing in the...
We usually eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think also, maybe not really a tradition, but I think I like how close we are as siblings, particularly. I think that's something that I really hope for my kids, to be... just as sort of invested and have as many core memories together and just have that togetherness. I think obviously because we're in Kampala, there's so many stories that we hear about them. What we were listening to yesterday, like Bongeka's family and this is happening and
Telemundo.
Yes, family. Right? Yeah, like land and all of. But I think maybe not necessarily tradition, but I think one of the things that I really like about our family is just how as siblings, I think we are really close, and I feel like it's helpful, to be honest, because man, at the end of the day, your king, thank you, is really, all you got.
Do you think it's because we were bathed? I read this thing.
Because we were what? Because we were bathed together.
Because when you get a new kid, you're supposed to bathe them. Like the first time you bathe your newborn, you're supposed to bathe their siblings if they have any in the same water that day. And then that makes a big clone. Do you think they see some shit? It's like, I don't know, it builds intimacy or something, like
in the dirty water. Like, so after you bathe the baby,
a newborn is not really dirty. Like a newborn is just
it's only they poop in the water.
How do you know that?
I don't know how many friends that have given birth to babies.
Anyway, I really like that.
Okay, but us,
and I wonder. I said that because I'm like, oh, how are we so close? Like, is it because of something that like we were told when we were younger? Is it just because we didn't have TV, so we had to look to
I think,
ourselves?
man, yeah, like I think we had to actually really engage with ourselves. When we like there were points where we lived in like estates and things like that where we had a lot more friends, but like when we had just come back we had, because when we were in that bunga house, I remember, man, like it was just
It was so boring.
it was literally just us, and there was no DSTV.
We didn't have friends.
There was, it was not like you could run to your friend's house and then, so we were just always together. Yeah, like I feel like we're always together. Yeah, and then maybe it's just God ordained, man. The grace of the Lord. Yeah. He's the one who has really allowed it so that we're close.
Also, sometimes I think about like sibling relationships, and obviously I don't want to judge, but sometimes I'm like, this happened with siblings. Like,
do you know what I mean? Like, even us, like, there's been like dynamics, and I'm like, I can't imagine you or Ethan like doing something that is going to make me, like, I mean, obviously there'll be times when you irritate me and I'm annoyed or whatever, but like, sometimes I'm just like, as in, like, you keep from the same home, and this is crazy, yeah. But
we thank God. It's the grace of God.
110. It's not our credit at all. I don't think it's something that, so it's definitely for grace.
All right, it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
No, that's fine.
Okay. What are you grateful for right now?
I'm grateful for the comfort of the Lord. I was listening to a song yesterday that I've told everyone who I've seen about.
I should pay you for singing the song, yeah. But well done.
Yeah, it's about Psalms 91, and I think living alone, I've always liked the idea of living alone, and I'm like, I don't know whether I should say this, whether it's safe to say this on the interwebs, but like, I live alone.
No one knows where you are.
And
it's okay.
I think at the beginning I was like, oh my gosh, super excited, but then like when you actually get into like the process of living alone, you're like, oh, you actually live alone. Like, anything can come, like anyone can come. Obviously no one, but like my mind wanders a lot. So sometimes I'm like, the physical, so the song talks about how God is like visits our homes and he sits outside, or anything that wants to come into our homes cannot enter because he is there and his presence is around. And I remember like journaling last night before I slept, and I was just journaling like 1 or 2 sentences, not like anything crazy, but I just said like, because he is around my home, I have nothing to fear, or I'm not scared. And that obviously relates like to my physical home where I stay and where I sleep, but also just like my family or my like just my community or us.
Yes.
My life.
Yes.
And I think sometimes it can feel like weapons are prospering because adulting, whatever it might be, whether like it's always something. There's just too many things going on, and sometimes I'm like, am I safe or am I in battle? Like, are we fighting? Like, we're going to win war, yeah?
We really are, though.
And I think it's so comforting to be reminded that, like, the person who watches over me has ensured that nothing is going to pass. Like, they might try, but they're never going to succeed. And I think walking in that confidence for me has made me feel secure, like the God of angel armies is protecting me, but also that like how to move, like if someone tells you like there's a convoy with you all the time, how will you move? You will like utmost confidence. And I think for me it's almost emotional, just to think about like how I'm very, very grateful for the Holy Spirit's presence with me. Like, it's so, he's my friend indeed. He is, he really it's really is. Nice. He really. What are you grateful for?
Absolutely. What am I grateful for? What am I grateful for right now? Yeah, I think really in line with the same. I think honestly, I'm very grateful to be loved by the Lord, to be of Him, to be part of the people that have been called to the Great Commission. I think to have a sense of belonging. I think I'm also very grateful to God for like-minded friendships in a sense. I think I like that in a lot of spaces nowadays, I'm I'm able to discuss, and I'm not just telling people, like, we're able to sort of talk through what is God, teaching you in this time. What are you going through that is you're sort of seeing God's grace in. And I feel like, yeah, with a lot of my people, we're able to actually bounce those things off of each other. So I'm very grateful for like God ordained, God centered friendships. I'm very, very grateful to God for the church that I belong to, Worship Harvest, and the ways in which it is growing me. I'm grateful to God for business. I'm grateful to God for so many things. Honestly, the list is long. I'm grateful to God that 2025 so far has gone the way it has gone, because we know the way 2024. You guys, 2024 ended, and I said, "What's life? Like, actually, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm really grateful that so far 2025. Yeah, really, it's the Lord's hand. That's taking me through sort of one step at a time. Yeah.
May He give us more things.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. May He. That you too. Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, a nice one. What are you looking forward to the most?
Like in life.
And one thing, don't now say 5 things, please. One. Just
I'm
pick
sorry, it might be many things. Okay, I'm excited about a lot of things.
Top.
Anak. I feel shy. Nature, you're supposed to be vulnerable. So what am I looking? I'm answering this question as what am I looking forward to most in life? Okay, sorry, I don't have to like overanalyze. But what am I looking forward to most? Honestly, I'm really looking forward to being someone's wife. Yeah, I think it's one of the things that I'm looking forward to a lot. I think just that partnering up in life, I think it's a very beautiful thing. Once you get it right, and you have God at the center, and you are privileged enough to have made the right decision, and I think it's a very, very beautiful thing. So I'm very much looking forward to being a wife, and then being a mother. Yeah, like
we sound like we're like 40.
I know, not really though, because like by that time now is the time looking for, but I understand what you mean. Yeah, like
other guys would be like, what are you looking for? Oh my God,
a big fat check. Even me, that $1 million check would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I've said many things, but the last thing I'm looking for, the last one is the growth.
Please, I'm not a policeman. I'm not a policeman. Please. Talk to you. Speak freely. I'm tough.
Okay, yes, but you're tough, though. You know you're tough. Okay, no, let's not get into that. What I was saying, the last thing I'm looking forward to is the growth of Color Kiosk, is the growth of our business. Yeah, there's like particular prayers I think that I've been praying. I think there's dreams that I've had for this business, and sometimes they just seem so big. Like I'm just like, okay, yeah, girl, like that's just a dream. But it's like holding on to like the vision that we have for this thing, the ideas that we have. I'm looking forward to executing and to seeing this thing moving from glory to glory. Of course, with hard work, with, determination. With that, you have to first do the underground thing of, being in the mud and boxing and what. But I think I'm looking forward to growing. I'm very grateful. Sorry, as it's like a speech. Please. But I'm very... I think I'm another thing that has just come to mind in terms of one of the things I'm grateful for is also, you guys, I have friends that went into business before me, and I really like how open they are with their secrets, with their like, well, not secrets, but like the business ins and outs of business. I feel like I have people that I can like bounce stuff off of. Yeah. I have Belinda, I have Kathy, I have like there's people that have gone before me. And it's just like, Bambi, yeah, thank God. Because, okay, the things, they're so exhausting. I don't know whether I would have managed at all if I didn't have them. Like, as it is, the things are tiring. So if I didn't have them, I feel like... So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are the...
I love that.
I'm looking about. Yeah.
I think it's also nice to be doing business with you, because I think that what makes me very confident in business is like, and I think also because you're my big sister, like, I'm not scared of anything. Like,
you really are not. I'm scared of so much. And I think that's actually why this thing works. Because there's so many times when I just feel like, as in, like, what are we doing? This wedding plan, I feel like when we had finished designing it, I was going to say, okay, first wait. Like, I think we first need to go back. Like, think of if we had already booked photo shoot and what. So it's like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like
let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like there's something you mentioned about being 20, being like where I'm at in life now.
Yes.
And I think I'm also now at the place where I'm like, it's nice to have you as a business partner, because I feel like more energized to just do and just go. I'm like, if it fails, it fails.
Yeah.
But like failing forward, that's what they call it.
Yes.
And I think that every setback or everything that has happened in business for me is just like growing first of all, me as a person, I feel like we're changing. We're really like learning how to like just be more responsible, learning how like you can't expect to reap what you've not
sown. 110%.
And I think sometimes, I don't know
Absolutely.
who told us this dream of like being an entrepreneur is going to mean like, okay, things are easy or like, you know.
Actually, it's the total opposite. Nowadays,
I
think they...
And I like that, nowadays the discourse is more
like, don't
around
like, unless you're ready.
And also it's not for everyone and not like romanticizing it. Because there's nothing particularly good about it. But I think it's been so refreshing to just have you as a business partner because I feel encouraged that like we're going to do this thing and it's going to bear fruit and it might not be in the ways that we think, but I think where we're at is a good place for me and I'm really, really grateful. Are you crying?
I'm not, no.
I need to cry. You're great.
But no,
I'm
lancing tears is what they call it.
I'm really grateful for just where we're at and the relationship we have, the friendship and sisterhood that allows us to have a business and
grow it together, grow something together. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Is it my turn or it's your?
Yeah, I asked last. Your turn.
I think I haven't asked from this one. Hey, wow. Okay.
What
are you learning about me? It's like such a short question, but I feel like it has, like, okay. What are you learning about me?
That you actually like, what am I learning right now? I'm trying to see how to phrase it well.
Yeah.
I think I'm learning that like as much as you're my big sister, you're also just a girl and like you're also just someone who is learning as you go.
Life out.
And I think when I was younger, because you know when you're at different life stages where like you're in campus, I'm still in
high school. Yeah.
Or you have your first job, I'm still on campus, I'm chilling. Or like you've moved out, I'm chilling. I think now being at a place where like we're in very similar like life situations, it has reminded me and just like talking to you, as much as you're my big sister, you are also someone who like doesn't know the answers to everything or sometimes has days where it's like you need a big sister, you need comfort, you just need someone to like sit with you. And I think at the first time I realized that I was confused, I was like, so do I go and just sit? Like, do I go and hug her? Do I go and do what? Like,
because even when I fall apart, I also tend to like fall apart.
Yeah, exactly. But it's nice to know. I think, what was the question?
What are you learning about?
Yes, so what I'm learning and have been learning for I think about the like past 1 year, 2 years is that like as much as you're my big sister, there are ways that I can show up for you and to not put too much pressure on that big sister thing. Like your big sister is not your god. I think I used to think that like, okay, money, take. This, take. Like, do I need anything? Take. Take. But now I'm just like, man, even her, she's boxing with life, man. Like, even her, she's fighting things. So I think I'm learning to have more grace for you and also help out, like, in like when it comes to like big responsibilities, because I feel like there's that pressure of like firstborn daughter.
Absolutely.
Just trying to be less of like, to be more proactive and more responsible at home and just be like, as much as these things, they might be directing them to Esther, but like, okay, how can you help with this? Or what can you do here? Or which are your advice? What can you do here? Like,
absolutely.
So it doesn't feel like you just have these two little siblings that
I have to,
take care of and supervise and manage and kind of say, okay, because I know you worry a lot about us, but it's nice to know that like sometimes you don't feel like,
you have really, I like that lesson. I really, really like that lesson. No, and like I think
Why do you like that lesson?
To your point. No, I mean, because it's true. Because absolutely, yes, I am very much figuring out life. I very much do not have the answers. So I feel like it's a true lesson. And like I think I definitely feel it just like in home stuff and navigating. I think I thank the Lord so much for the siblings that I have, because in as much as I worry, I also I'll be at office. Like I've said, like sometimes you sit down with people and you're hearing like there are people who are older siblinging in a real way. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe you have like maybe it's that life is not working out as great as it should for like your other siblings, so there's so much that you have to sort of cover. And in as much as like they, home stuff, they might be asking me, and but I feel like there's definitely I feel your contribution is so significant. Do you understand? Like to different, even if it's household things, if they're asking for this and that, the other, or we're putting together money and we want to get mommy and daddy something, or all of those things, I definitely, we're together. I don't feel like I'm a solo, deputy parent or what. That I absolutely feel it. I think it's fantastic. I really like that. I like that our parents raised, kids that are just all like, go, man, I don't even know. Like we had we couldn't fail. Like, do you know what I mean? Like campus and what. I remember being in Malaysia and course, we're enjoying life and all of these things. But I really had this thing of, as in, like I can't go.
You're going to go back and say
without
what?
You're going to understand. So like just that ambitious thing and what. I'm grateful that they raised us.
Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God.
What I want to answer the question, even if you don't turn it back to me. I want to answer what I'm learning about you. What I'm learning about you. I think a little bit related to what it is that I was saying about, you being a go-getter and, whatever you put your mind to, you will sort of achieve. I think you are a mind over matter person, right? Like in terms of, guys, these are things that need to get done. Let's figure out how to get them done and we move. And I think sometimes I might, slow down a little bit and that might also be important because sometimes you need to reflect and pivot and do all of these things. But I think one of the things that I really admire about you is that, guys, what are we? Because you're sometimes it's not healthy. Sometimes you need to stop. But like you'll be in the car and while you're now figuring out this meeting. Now for me, Bambi, I like to, it's time for work. I wake up at 6 and then sit at my table at 7, then work and finish. You will just pull out. Now we need to finish this. Then now I'm getting the caption for the other. Then I'm what? And I think it's good. Like it's a very mind over matter attitude. I think for me, it obviously, it can go into the excess, which we can talk about later. But I think right now what I'm trying to focus on is that when things need to get done, they need to get done. And I don't think that is something that I had recognized about you until like fairly recently. Maybe when we started the business together, actually. It's probably when we started like kiosk. Yeah. Because I guess there was just no opportunity for me to maybe see it as much. But yeah, I guess that would be defined as something that I'm learning about you, which I think is a cool thing, a good thing.
How do you think the ways in which we are different affect our relationship? So we've talked about, you get
we really have, right?
How are we different? How do we clash? Or how, not clash, but how do our differences affect our relationship?
I think we are really, so I'm going to talk, I think we talked a little bit about this, but I think you talked about a key difference between us. I think I'm very accommodating of people to a fault, right? So it can be a strength, but it can be also just the other side, which is Ochsusa. Right. And then for you are, no, like we're not going to let people cheat us like this. We need to like stand up. If you don't talk, you're not going to closed mouths don't get fed. Do you know what I mean? And I think we're able to balance each other out because sometimes I'll help you sort of empathize and see from the other person's perspective, right? So this person is stressing us because they want us to do this thing all the time and they're entering our time and what? Because you know what I'm talking about. But they're entering our time and, we want to leave and we have work to do. And then I'm like, no, but if you look at it from this perspective, this and this and this, if you look at it from here, it's just because of this. They're doing it out of love or, they want to spend time with you or whatever. Yeah. And then there'll also be times where you're like, Esther, you need to talk to this person like you mean business. Like say that this and this and this is the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Like you can't always, want to be too kind or to whatever. And then I might also come in sometimes and be like, okay, here, kindness might be the approach that works as opposed to because we've tried the tough thing and it might not be getting us the results we want. So I think just in that way, our relationship, we feed off each other. So when we're together, we won't be too mean to people and then we won't also let them walk over us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I would...
I agree. I think, you always remind me to like... like when to pause. I think because sometimes, because you know that thing of saying, I'm always working, I'm always moving, I'm always doing,
I have things to do. Why are you wasting your time?
so like you know that thing of like reacting in anger in the moment and like or reacting emotionally in the moment. I think if I didn't have you in my life when we didn't have a relationship, I would be more prone to that. But these days, like especially in business, I'm like, okay, this person has done this. I know it's wrong. I know it's very, very wrong. I can list
so unprofessional. So what?
Very super, just like, you know, out of pocket. But then you always remind me that like, okay, you've taught me, okay, maybe send that message instead of
calling or give yourself an hour, give yourself 2 hours,
wait some time, or relax. Like you've just reminded me to relax, because sometimes I think I'm just like
riled up.
Just like,
I get it.
Yeah, it gets very frustrating. So I like that you've balanced me out, or you balance me out, and you remind me like even when it's not our business, when I'm just interacting with people, to always like Bambi, like sometimes just think about where they are coming from. You overdo it sometimes, but like you remind me like, yeah, Bambi, like don't always, because me, I can get in. I'm like, I'm on my things. I'm like, so what is your problem?
Like, what's up?
Why can't you do this? Or why are you failing to do this? But you remind me that like, okay, think about it like this, or think about it from that perspective, or you know, just extend grace to people. I think you're reminding me that, man, we just have to extend more grace to people.
Absolutely. And then you're reminding me that sometimes quest means business. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, say what it is that you need to say. Because you need to stand up for yourself sometimes, which is something that I think just speaking my truth and telling people when it's nonsense, and then we sort of pivot from there. Do you know what I mean? So it's good. I think that's it.
I love it.
I've really enjoyed this conversation. I think it's always a good time engaging with my sister and talking. I think the beautiful thing is that we have a pretty good working relationship already. Like we talk quite a bit. I think here it's just getting more into the nuances of, this is what I like about you, or these are things that I'm actually noticing. I don't think we get into those details, a lot as we sort of engage. So I think that for me has been the most exciting thing. I think it's been very affirming. I feel like it has. It's been a beautiful experience. I'm looking forward to the episode and to more. Yeah.
This conversation has been nice. It's been refreshing. It's nice to sit and compare notes in a very intentional way outside of like our random sporadic conversations. I think it has shown me that we're different people, and I think I love how different we are, and I love how our differences complement each other and strengthen our relationship as sisters. Yeah.